Well, howdy. Thank you for tuning in to Dakota Cowboy here on Beck TV. I'm your host, Wild Bill, the media director at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora. Appreciate you checking out our show today. It's presented to you each and every week by our friends at Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Now, Dakota Community Bank and Trust in their Dickinson and their Mandan locations, they're looking for customer service representatives. If that is something that should be of interest to you, to find out more information, go to dakotacommunitybank.com/careers and all the information is there for you. They are a great organization. You will love a career with Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Well, March is Women's History Month. It's observed every March, and although it always hasn't been a month-long celebration, it now takes place from March 1st through March 31st. Women's History Month, a time to honor the women who have made important sacrifices and contributions to society in both the past and the present. And every year a different theme is named for the celebration that is chosen by the National Women's History Alliance. The theme for March 2023 for Women's History Month, celebrating women who tell stories. And we have 4 women, each of them with a great story to share with you today here on Dakota Cowboy. We begin with a very special announcement from Tisa Peek. Tisa is the owner of Dakota Horse Magazine. Tisa?
Thanks, Bill. I'm here with Silk today, and we at Dakota Horse Magazine are partnering up with Dakota Cowboy. We'd like to bring you stories featuring horses across the Dakotas, the ranching industry, as well as rodeo. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, we hope to see you down the road. Back to you, Bill.
Yes! I am so excited to have Tisa Peek be a co-host here on Dakota Cowboy. The things that she does for Dakota Horse Magazine are amazing. She has a deep respect and admiration for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and she's going to bring a lot to the table here at Dakota Cowboy. I cannot wait. You might have seen Tisa a while back on one of our programs. Her husband John has been on the program too, and now she's going to be on each and every week, bringing what she brings to Dakota Cowboy. Let's do this, sister. You've got this. A while back, you might have seen an interview here on Dakota Cowboy with the Klings, Russ and his son Cayden, in 2 separate interviews. Today, we are going to the top, and we're going to talk to the boss at Kling Rodeo LLC. Kami Kling will be part of our program today. She juggles many different things, and she's got a lot going on each and every day, and she does it with a smile on her face, and she's got a lot of love to give. Kami Kling, our guest, coming up on Dakota Cowboy. You've seen Theresa Howie here on the program many times, but not wearing the hat that she is wearing today. She is the producer for a documentary film that is going to be released this spring called Feek's Vision. It's about the legendary bucking horses that originated in Ekalaka, Montana, and are now worldwide and at each and every national finals rodeo. You will recognize these horses when you see them. We're so excited to have Theresa be a part of our program today here on Dakota Cowboy. And our North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honorees Inductee of the Week, which is brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center, is Pearl Cullen. Pearl was inducted in the category of Leaders of Ranching and Rodeo in 2002. She was born October 4th, 1910 to Henry and May Edwards, and she grew up on a farm just south of Hazen, along with many Shetland ponies, and larger horses too, of course, where she learned the value of horse flesh. Pearl graduated from Hazen High School in 1928 and earned a teaching certificate from Dickinson Teachers College in 1934. Going on to teach for 14 and a half years, and she also helped out as a 4-H leader. So she'll be coming up in our North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honorees Inductee of the Week. We are paying homage to some great women today, and I also want to give a shout out to my late mother, Agnes Polinick, who herself was a historian as well. Perhaps the acorn hasn't fallen far from the tree. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate you being here with us on Dakota Cowboy each and every week. So sorry about that. Anyway, let's regroup. Let's fill up our cups. Let's call up the neighbors, tell them to turn on Beck TV, because Dakota Cowboy starts now here on Beck TV, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Stay informed on what your elected representatives are doing in Bismarck. The local subdivisions generally find a way to backfill the buy down. That's the issue. And get involved, make a difference, because the people who are elected are the ones who make those decisions on how the spending goes.
Get the information straight from them with me, Gary Emineth, weekdays at 8:30 p.m. and Sundays at 9 p.m. Central Time on Beck TV and online anytime at beck.news.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Shrine Circus is coming to the Bismarck Event Center for 2 action-packed, fun-filled days, Friday and Saturday, April 14th and 15th. Elephants, tigers, motorcycle jumpers, high-wire acrobats, and yes, the clowns will all be under the Event Center Big Top. Elephant and pony rides are available at intermission. 100 kids will take home a brand new bike for 2 days only, April 14th and 15th at the Bismarck Event Center. The Shrine Circus, truly a family affair.
Man has worked in sync with Mother Nature since the beginning of time. Relying on her to provide sufficient moisture every growing season is a roll of the dice. You can now insure your pastures and rangelands with Rainfall Index policy available from Chamley Financial. This will give you the peace of mind by knowing you will be protected from the adverse effects of Mother Nature. Contact Chamley Financial today, 719-338-3428, or go to chamleyfinancial.com.
Come on in to Pipe Dreams, where we help make life a little bit lighter. Browse our huge selection of incense and candles. For natural pain relief, we have CBD tinctures, gummies, and creams. Or ask about our selection of quality kratom, a natural herb used for anxiety, pain, and alertness. Find all your smoking accessory needs, plus high-end cigars, pipe tobacco, and hookah, and unique posters and tapestries. We have the lowest prices around at Pipe Dreams, your one-stop hippie shop located on the corner of South Broadway and Minot.
Now you can have the personalized forecast at your fingertips when you need it. Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.
Hi, Rich from Law Motors. 45 years ago, Dad started selling cars. 35 years ago, I started selling cars. And 15 years ago, Tyler started selling cars.
And I'm Mom, and I told all of them, just be nice.
JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision has built a reputation as one of the most reputable and reliable body shops in this region. With nearly 30 years in business, customers count on JR's to get it done right the first time. They'll work with your insurance company to smoothen the process. From their 40-foot frame straightening machine, Sickens paint, and the latest technology in the repair industry, they're the only name you need to know. For auto, semi, RV, and trailer repair, it's JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision. North Dickinson, call 701-483-6778. JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision. Welcome back to Dakota Cowboy here on Beck TV. We're brought to you by our great friends at Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Thank you for watching this evening. We greatly appreciate it. As we continue with International Women's History Month, we are in the living room of one Miss Kami Kling. It's so good to be here. You're my neighbor.
Thank you.
I will tell you this, when we interviewed Russ, he said, I always come over cross country, but on this stormy day, I decided not to come across country, so.
Yeah, it's a little blustery.
Yeah. A couple of things. First of all, this is the very first interview I've ever done where I had to make sure I didn't have holes in my socks because we were in your living room on a snowy day. I left my boot at the door, my boots, and also I'm doing you a favor by leaving my hat on. Okay, I don't mean any disrespect. So we're here today to talk to you. We talked to Russ and Cayden. They've been on the program here on Dakota Cowboy. And what was it like being Reese Witherspoon's stunt double in the movie I Walk the Line? No, I'm just kidding. She reminds me of Reese. But seriously, you know, we wanted to talk to you because, Kami, the things you post on social media, we're friends beyond social media, but you're a teacher. You're a mother. You assist with the operations of Kling Rodeo. You do so many different things, and juggling all these things, how do you do it? And you do it with such passion. What drives you, Kami?
Well, that's easy. My family. My kids keep me going. We're a highly competitive family, and we always have a saying here, every day when you get up, start it with a success, and that's make your bed. So no matter how bad things get, you can end your day with at least a made bed, and it ends off well. And I guess it takes all of us. We work together as a team. We have a schedule. We balance it. And yeah, I do have a lot going on. And sometimes I have a bad case of I can't say no, but I love helping.
If you go to becknews.com/Dakota Cowboy and watch the interview with Russ and Cayden Kling, you'll hear the exact same thing, almost word for word, on what drives you. It's family. It's all about family, and you've got a great family. And first of all, where'd you grow up?
I grew up north of Newtown on a ranch. My dad worked in the oil field and raised cattle, and yeah.
Okay, went to high school where?
Newtown.
Okay. At what point in your life did a strapping young cowboy by the name of Russ come into your life?
Oh, that was after. We knew each other through like high school rodeo, obviously, but I was in college and we were just always friends, and I guess just God's will, we came together, and I get to spend every day with my best friend.
Okay, say for example that I'm a committee and I'm considering having a rodeo in my community, and I get a hold of you and Russ, and I talk to you about what my plans are. What would you tell us as far as why we should hire Kling Rodeo LLC?
Well, if you like dedication, perseverance, and commitment, you got us. I guess behind the scenes, Stan and I, Russ says, are like a match made in heaven. That's Stan Headings. I'm a person that I'm very linear, detail oriented. And so when I go talk to a committee, I can guarantee that Russ is going to bring you the best stock possible. He puts a lot of time and heart into it. And Stan and I try to put together a production where it's down to literally the seconds. I can tell you by the number of contestants what we're going to have, a rough estimate with our intermissions and all the events, how long our production is going to last.
You've driven truck, hauling horses all the way to the through the streets of Las Vegas, Nevada. You've got some amazing four-legged athletes. Talk about some of your favorite horses that you have. I know each of you in the Kling family have your favorites. Remember, you remember Cayden talking about that paint? Yeah. And that paint came up behind us while we were talking, and I think you guys are connected with these animals. Oh. I don't doubt that one bit. But what are some of your favorite horses?
That's easy. So it started out with 803, a black mare. So we used to do for charities, and Russ and I, again, like I said, we're so competitive that we wouldn't enter just a team. We would enter Cam's team and Russ's team. And it was basically like a paper, rock, scissor, who got what horses each week. So I went down to Sutton's Horse Sale and I bought a mare by the brand number 803. We later went on to sell her to Championship Rodeo. But she had a baby in the fall. We didn't even realize she was bred, and we were bucking her, and she was just awesome. And we went out shortly after Labor Day, and there he stood, and that is my pride and joy. His name is Star Witness, and Stace has now got him with Smith Pro Rodeo. And he actually won me my first go-around buckle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were on the stage at South Point?
We had already came back home, so Stan accepted the buckle for us.
You would have been, hadn't you not come home, right?
Oh gosh, yes.
Have you kicked yourself a few times over that one?
Yeah, and the crazy part is, as you can see, my eyes are getting kind of watery, but we were at a basketball game watching Chase. First year, he's a freshman, got a varsity jersey, and we were so excited. But we were watching the NFR on my phone, and I was like, he was the first reride, and I'm like, just one reride, just one reride. Tim O'Connell gets a reride, and I was like, yes! And over the top, and it was crazy. And, you know, Phil Doyle Photography took an amazing picture of that moment. And I just recently reached out to a good friend of ours, Cherie Rasho. She's going to actually do a painting for me of that. Yes.
Oh, my.
Yeah, round 9 of Star Witness is his name, 418. So.
Okay, she's actually on our list of people we want to talk to here on Dakota Cowboy. I'll ask her about that. She's awesome. I love her. I love Cherie. So
my kids take art classes from her. So
yeah. One particular rodeo I wanted to ask you about that seems to be gaining a lot of momentum is the one in Medora.
show.
And yeah, see, I see how you react. And that's kind of how Russ reacted too when I asked him about it. Gosh, that thing has really gotten a lot of traction here as of late.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So we started with a group of ranchers and people within the Medora community 5-6 years ago, the Rancho-Rama Rodeo Club, with the mindset of preserving rodeo in that setting and in that atmosphere. And we all rallied together, and we had a fearless leader that we all kind of nominated, and that was Naomi Rashow to be our first president. And she's a hardworking lady. If you want to talk about compassion, that lady was strongly motivated, and she had the will to make that rodeo successful. But you know, since then we've continued to grow. We just last weekend had our cabin fever. We had sawdust there, and membership drive. We're always looking for more people, more sponsorship to help keep that. But it is something about that rodeo, Bill, when you drop off that hill and you see the setting of the rodeo grounds and just the energy. It's like the past legends speak to you when you pull into there. I have chills right now thinking I love that rodeo.
I've been going to that arena ever since it was Rancho-Rama, back when they had that ranch rodeo when I was a youngster, 8, 9, 10 years old. But back to Naomi, I know why you quickly moved on. Didn't want you to get emotional. Naomi passed away recently, and that's exactly why. Oh, this show is about as real as it gets. So yeah, we thank Naomi and the legacy that she left behind, which is the Medora Rodeo. What's the official name of that rodeo?
The Rancho-Rama Rodeo.
The Rancho-Rama Rodeo, yes. And it's generally in June?
Nope, second weekend in August.
Second weekend in August.
Same weekend as the Sperry Horse Sale also.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's a nice feather in your hat, having that rodeo on the Kling schedule.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's a lot of support and dedication from the community around, and people look forward to it. And you can see people come from all over just to come visit. We actually will have a group that has reached out to us. They're bringing a bus from down in the Iowa area. Oh, Milo.
Milo? Milo, you're the second dog to be on Dakota Cowboy. You know that? You're going to have to talk to Doug Tesher about his dog being first, but you're the cutest. Don't tell Doug, okay? Anyway.
But so we've got a lot of interest of tourists, and when we put on that rodeo, you get a lot of people that come that have never even seen rodeo. So it's the energy and the dynamics is huge. It's good.
Yes, it's a great rodeo. Again, coming up in 2023. Listen for more details. Also, how many other NDRA rodeos are you involved with that you know of? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot there, but coming up in 2023, are there several that you're going to be part of?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the Towner Rodeo up there over the 4th of July weekend. And then down in southwest North Dakota in May, we have the Bowman County Rodeo in Hettinger and Amadon. So pretty much we take care of all the rodeos in southwest, as well as the slope rodeos.
I think the schedule actually begins like the 1st of April in Minot.
Yep, so Bailey Pro Rodeo, Shane Gunderson, they have Rodeo Minot, and it's a huge weekend. It's a great opportunity to get people from outside, or from being cooped up outside and traveling. The horses are usually haired up and looking forward to rodeoing indoors, but it's a nice break after a long winter.
I bring that up because I don't know if you'd heard or not, but Beck TV is going to be airing a dozen NDRA rodeos this season, and I'm sure that Tisa, you heard Tisa is going to be part of our program now, Tisa Peek with Dakota Horse Magazine. We're very proud to have announced that this week, and she'll be there doing interviews and things, and really looking forward to that. So we'll be seeing, you'll be a regular here on the program. How's that? You might even get a free coffee mug at the end of the season.
Right?
We'll see. But anyway, wrapping up today, Kami, is first of all, you know, we began the conversation today by talking about all the things that you do, from being a teacher to being a driving force in Kling Rodeo LLC to being a mother. When it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered? Who is Kami Kling?
Well, I guess when I think about that, I want my legacy to be remembered as a hardworking, compassionate person with a lot of love to give. That's what I want to be remembered as.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you wished I would have? Any information you want to share with our viewers today, Kami? Did we pretty much cover it, or why don't you recharge the battery and we'll do it again sometime? How's that?
Back in the files, but I think we covered a lot of stuff. I appreciate this opportunity, but there's a lot of hardworking women that do a lot of great things in this area.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are, and you're definitely one of them. And she's got a lot of love to give, folks. Here's Kami Kling with Kling Rodeo LLC here on Dakota Cowboy, brought to you by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Improve your home or business with services from Zaka Remodeling and Construction. Whether you need windows or doors repaired, replaced, or installed for your residential or commercial property, Zaka Remodeling and Construction can help. Our local and family-owned business offers flexible hours and over 10 years of experience in the industry. We are your local Pella expert. Pella is rated #1 in highest quality and innovation by homeowners across the country. Feel confident when you choose Pella and Zaka Remodeling. Contact us today for a free estimate. Zaka Remodeling and Construction.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
When there's a storm on the horizon, you typically don't get a lot of advance notice. So you brace yourself as best you can and rebuild when it's over. Times like these are what insurance is for, the protection of our livelihoods, our families, our homes, and our lives. We support our community coming together in times of need. As an independent insurance agency, we tailor our services to your needs. At Dakota Community Insurance, we can help you weather the storm. Talk to one of our agents today.
Medora Boot and Western Wear open year-round in historic Medora. You'll find quality items for cowboys and cowgirls of all ages. Medora Boot and Western Wear has over 1,500 pair of boots on hand at all times. New this year, the R. Watson brand of boot, featuring an all-leather heel, riveted shank, and a 10-iron leather sole. Jeans, shirts, hats, caps, and more, and customer service is #1. Medora Boot and Western Wear in historic Medora.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Let the Little Missouri Saloon and Dining add to your historic Medora experience. Open 7 days a week. Enjoy family dining at its best on our main floor, as well as the upper dining room and outdoor patio with a fabulous view of Medora and the Badlands. Try the bison ribeye, delicious pizza, and an entire menu filled with fabulous food for all appetites. A full bar with an impressive list of tap beer and more adult beverage favorites. Visit us at littlemosaloon.com and look for live music events happening regularly. History lives at the Little Missouri Saloon and Dining in historic Medora. Y'all come see us now, you hear?
Ladies of Another View in a hometown near you,
where we visit the small towns around North Dakota.
The quilt shop was going to be closing, and I asked if they would be willing to sell. 13 years ago, we started Quilt Essential.
Highlighting the jewels of the prairie while sharing untold and forgotten stories.
The first original treaty, we were one tribe between us and the Sistinawattanoyate, broken down into two, and then they placed us here.
Wednesdays at 4:30 Central on Beck and Beck.News.
Welcome to Dakota Cowboy on Beck TV. We appreciate you watching our show, which is presented to you each and every week by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. No stranger to Dakota Cowboy. Tess Howie joins us again today.
Again.
Every time that you come on board, you agree to an interview on Dakota Cowboy, you're wearing a different hat. You do a lot of things for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, from the editor of the newsletter to the museum curator and other things. we have today to present you in a different light, wearing a different hat as the producer of a documentary, Feek's Vision. Oh my gosh, how exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. And you know, I was thinking about that this morning. We always talk about how many different hats I wear. The common thread is it's all about Western history, the Western lifestyle. So all of my hats fit on one rack.
All right, good deal. We'll get into Feek's Vision here in just a moment. It's a great documentary. The plan is for it to be released this spring. So we'll tell you more about that here in just a bit. International Women's History Month, Tess, and you know, this episode is dedicated to the women of North Dakota and beyond, my mother being one of them, you as well. I mean, I really have a lot of respect for you, and I'm not, you know, expecting anything but making a statement that what you do is so... You have one speed, and the products that you deliver, whether it be from the newsletter to a display at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, it's all done so professionally, and you've gained the respect of a tough crowd. I mean, this is a tough audience that we deal with, and so I just want to say that I'm proud to know you, and I'm really very proud of the things that you do. Yes.
Thank you.
You came on, we got to meet because your husband contacted me a while back. You were living in Arizona, and he was looking into the possibility of doing a documentary on Ukrainians in North Dakota.
Yeah.
And one thing led to another. We developed a rapport. It was a windy, I think, February day that you moved to North Dakota. Do you recall crossing South Dakota in that crazy wind? October it was, okay.
2013.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you came to North Dakota, and you put the documentary together, Hardship to Freedom, which is about the Ukrainians in North Dakota. But talk about your husband, your business partner, and what a creative genius he is. First of all, I don't know if you're going to say anything about this, but his work has been on display at Times Square in New York City. He's worked with some amazing people, and gosh, talk about the creative genius. That is Ken Howie.
That is my husband. Oh my, yeah. Ken got his, well, he was born and raised Belfield, North Dakota. And he was here until the early 80s. And he went to Colorado Institute of Art, Morehead State, and then he ended up in New York. He had decided he was going to be a commercial photographer. And so he honed his skills in New York under one of the top photographers of the time in advertising and commercial work. So from there, he kind of made his way around to Arizona, which is where he and I met. And he opened what was the first professional digital photography studio. It was when digital photography was just becoming a thing, and we had one of the first and best digital camera setups you could buy in our studio in Phoenix. He hired me to be a project manager, and so I went from being his employee to being his well, he was my mentor for a while. Then we became friends. And now we're married. So
wonderful.
But yeah, so we were in the commercial advertising work for, oh gosh, he's been doing that for over 25 years, 30 years now.
Unofficially, he created the digital stitching, if you will.
He did.
If you're a photographer, maybe perhaps you know what that means.
Yeah, he did. It's called multi-chip technology is what the name that he gave it, and it was actually, we did register the name for it. We couldn't patent it because anybody could really figure it out if they thought about it, but at the time, you know, digital image was only so big, and he's a master of light. He's a master of color when it comes to his images, and he found a way to make that camera go laterally and tile some things together, and that's how we ended up being able to do things that were on the sides of buildings and ending up in Times Square.
My wife and I, our family raises English cream golden retriever dogs, and we hired Ken to do a photo shoot, and we spent probably an hour setting up a field, mowing the grass, and making sure the wind was just right, however you do that. Not that he's, you know, you have control over that, but so meticulous. So,
he is.
I mean, his eyes can see through the lens of a camera without the camera even being there.
Yeah. He can set my camera, my iPhone. He could set my iPhone up to take the same photo that he's going to take, and somehow you end up with two completely different images. He's just, I don't know. He's an amazing man, amazing talent. But you know, at the time we did a lot of work for the Phoenix Art Museum, Banner Health Foundation, Fender Guitars, Rockford Fosgate. I mean, he was really into the custom motorcycles. We did a lot of instrument shoots, a lot of catalog work, a lot of advertising work. But he said to me at one point, he said, you know, by the time I'm 50, I want to be doing documentary film work. And I won't call it irony. I don't know about fate either, but it just, you know, basically whatever Ken says over the years, whatever he said he was going to do or that he wanted to get into, it almost literally falls in his lap. And that was when the phone call happened between you and he met your mom. And and that you mentioned the Ukrainian hardship to freedom, about the Ukrainian homesteaders. It was important to him to do that, because those are the people he grew up around. He's not Ukrainian himself, but you and all of his friends, pretty much all of them are. And so he was immersed in that growing up, and it meant something to him. And so meeting your mom, of course, that became his first documentary film project at the age of 50.
Documentary filmmaking, if you don't know, think about it a minute. I mean, first of all, you know, to have the technical expertise that Ken Howie has, but then to submerge yourself into the story of the hardship that the Ukrainian immigrants went through, understanding that story and presenting it through the technology that you understand. It's amazing. So many layers to that.
Yeah,
but
and recreating some of those things, because
right.
you know, a lot, it doesn't exist, but there are a lot of remnants of properties, you know, the homesteads, that a lot of those homes are still standing. You could never live in them, but so he had a lot to work with. But
yeah. Then you were involved with some other projects that were of the Western genre and lifestyle and things, which led you to Feek's vision. Oh my goodness. First of all, it's about a legendary stock contractor from the Ekalaka, Montana area.
Yeah.
His name was Feek Tooke. What can you tell me about the man as you understand it? And I know that you too are indulging yourself into the story.
Yep. Ted Hansen, who a lot of your listeners may know, Ted and Ken were friends from way back, and Ted had mentioned to Ken that there was a really cool story about a string of horses that came out of Montana, and when Ken first started to explore that story, we're thinking, okay, here's another nice little regional thing that we can cover about this guy in Montana who decided to start breeding bucking horses. And then go out and met the Tooke family, and Ken started talking to them and learning more about the story, started to find out all of the rodeo cowboys that had gotten on these horses and all the stock contractors, at least covering the western United States and a little bit beyond, how important those horses were to all of these rodeo operations. And we realized this is not a regional deal, this is a national, if not international story, because the horses that Feek Tooke bred, as they got dispersed across the country through the different stock contractors.
Big old feather leg, buck your butt off.
Man, they're not very,
the linebackers.
Yes, exactly. The linemen of the rodeo game, as Larry Mahan would say.
Yep.
But they, even today, over 95% of the horses that end up at the NFR every year, and this goes back to the 30s and 40s when this got started. And now here we are all these years later, and 95 or more % of the horses that are at the NFR every year have this blood in them. It all goes back to this tiny little town, maybe 400 people. It was bigger then. I think they had 800 or 900 at their peak, but about 400 people now, and yet this little tiny town is known as the bucking horse capital of the world because of Feek Tooke.
Amazing. It's an amazing story, and you know, I think there's some spiritual intervention that went on during the process of putting Feek's vision together. For one, Harry Vold, who is the godfather of rodeo, had the respect of every single person in the rough stock world and beyond. The timed event folks all had respect for him. Ken traveled to his ranch.
Yeah.
Where was it located?
In Colorado.
In Colorado. Ken traveled to Colorado, interviewed Mr. Vold, and a week later he
2 days.
2 days after that interview.
Later, he passed away.
Oh, amazing, you know, and that was the last interview ever with Harry Bold. Wow. Speaking of Harry Bold, I mean, just about anybody who's anybody in the world of bucking horses, from Mr. Bold to Larry Mahan, as you mentioned, Ty Murray, Matt Birch, they're all in this documentary.
Yeah. You know, and I gotta throw a shout out to Kevin Holton. You know, when we were working with Kevin on Special Cowboy Moments back in the day, I mean, what gosh, was that been already 6-7 years ago? Ken and Kevin had gotten together on Special Cowboy Moments, and so because of all the traveling we were doing for that show, there was a lot of opportunity early on to ask some of these guys at the end of the Special Cowboy Moments interview, hey, what do you know about the Tooke bucking horses? And so by the time, you know, between those interviews and then all the ones that Ken went out on his own, and then went with Toby Tooke, which would be Feek's great-grandson, who's kind of the historian of their family. Ken and Toby did a lot of interviews too, and so all told, we have 55 interviews of, and now we're talking, like you said, you know, Harry Bold, Matt Birch, it's Ty Murray, it's Deb Copenhaver, Dan Mortensen, Monty Henson, Neil Gay. I could just go on and on and on. It's pretty much, if it's a name that you know in rodeo, these guys were interviewed. Now, you got to whittle that all down to about an hour and a half, and so they're not all in the film, but we've still got the interviews, and those interviews are gold. So yeah. And I think you talked to Ty Murray in Las Vegas. Yeah.
And I like to tell the story that Tess was in the room when Ty Murray handed the teacher the note that he wanted to beat Larry Mahan's all-around record.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it's a heck of a story.
It is true. It is true. And Ty and we graduated together, graduated high school, and we went to Deer Valley High School together in Glendale, Arizona. Of course, at the time, all I thought of Ty Murray was that he was just kind of a full of himself, you know, arrogant guy. But really, in hindsight, he wasn't at all. He was just very focused. He knew what he wanted, and even at that young age, he was already starting to do it. So yeah, Ty lived 2 doors down from us in Glendale, Arizona.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Did he remember that? Did you even bring it up when you talked to him in Las Vegas?
I didn't remember the story of that. You know what the.
I had to remind you of it, right?
I didn't know about. I didn't know. I didn't remember about that little story, but yeah, Ty. So that would have been the first time in what, 30 some odd years that Ty and I had even had any connection, but yeah.
And we hope to make an announcement as far as some other people that are going to be added to the roster of people that are going to be presenting this wonderful documentary called Feek's Vision. We're looking forward to maybe making an announcement within the next week. Follow Feek's Vision on Facebook.
Yes, you can follow it on Facebook. Do you want me to tell you right now?
You can?
Okay.
See how I dance around it?
You want to be the guy? You want to be the guy?
Who is going to be the narrator for...
Oh, no.
Okay.
I still haven't gotten the call on that. No, I was
That's what we'll make a special announcement
that'll be
about.
A special announcement,
but what were you alluding to?
Well, I was going to say that we are releasing the film during the Miles City Bucking Horse Sale.
There we go. So Miles City Bucking Horse Sale in mid-May, right?
Yeah, 17th, 18th, 19th in there. Okay. Now, it'll air first in Ekalaka, Montana, because those folks, they are instrumental. I mean, they came out, they helped Ken build a reenactment, a rodeo arena, so that he could do an old rodeo. You know, he held an actual rodeo.
In the attire from what era was that?
Oh, that would have been 1940s.
Wow, they had the old Model A's around.
Yeah. Back during the time when we still had a 48 star flag.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. But at any rate, so we're going to show it to them first, and that'll be that same week, and then we'll head to Miles City, show it there at their theater a couple of times, and then from there it's going to head out. North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame has got dibs on the next release or the next showing after Miles City.
Feek's Vision, the story of the famous bucking horses that live to this day. I think the majority of it is shot in black and white, which gives it a whole nother layer of nostalgia, I would assume. What would Ken's technical reason be for presenting it in black and white?
The very serious technical reason is he wants to.
Okay, all right, it's because he can.
It's a style that he just, it's part of what makes his stuff different, I guess you could say. You know, he shoots it in color, but he turns it black and white.
Wow.
Yeah, so Special Cowboy Moments, those first years of Special Cowboy Moments were all in black and white too. And the funny thing about it is it's kind of like Psycho. Psycho is in black and white, but you remember the blood going down the drain in the shower scene? You see it as red because and this is not unlike that.
You're again making history on Dakota Cowboy, because I think that's the first time the word psycho has been used.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Looking so forward to it.
And so are we. Yeah.
And of course, being the visionary that Ken Howie is, I'm sure he's looking at the future to have maybe more of these products come out. I know that a lot of the videos that air on the monitors in the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, at least up to the end of this past season, were shot by Ken Howie. The Teschers and Elvin Nelson and Brad and Wayne and Steve Tomac and things.
Yeah.
There's another video too that people watch when they come to the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. That's
in the theater.
Yeah,
the
and
North
that's
Dakota Cowboy.
Another product of Ken Howie Studios.
Done specifically for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, of course. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Tess, I so enjoy our visits all the time, whether it's by text, by phone, or here in front of these cameras at Dakota Cowboy. Is there any question that I haven't asked you today that would give information to our viewers that you wanted to share with them?
No, I think you always do such a great job.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, feeksvision.com if they want to follow the film. I'm not going to probably set up pre-orders again until we get a little bit closer. But
again, Feeks Vision on Facebook, and there's a website.
There's a website for it.
Feekvision.com.
Feeksvision.com. Feeks. Feeks Vision. Yep.
So you folks going to the Miles City Bucking Horse Sale coming up in May have something really cool to look forward to. Not that the Bucking Horse Sale isn't cool enough, but I tell you, this is going to be a great documentary. We've been showing you things here on Dakota Cowboy that are going to be part of that film. And gosh, I'm so proud to be associated with this young lady.
Thank you.
Tess Howie.
Teresa for this one, yeah.
And your husband, Ken.
Yes.
And Ken, by the way, I knew better than to even ask him to come in and do an interview. Do you know that famous record producer, Mutt Lange? Yeah. He produced Shania Twain. Yeah. He produced AC/DC, Def Leppard, and several others. There's no interview with him in existence, and there's hardly any photographs. That's Ken Howie.
Yeah.
Are there any interviews with Ken Burns or any that you have ever seen? I think of Ken Howie, I think of Ken Burns.
I think of Ken Burns when you think of a certain photo effect that that he does in everything. But no, we don't talk a whole lot about Ken Burns. But
you're a busy gal.
Ken Howie's got his own style. But yeah.
You're a busy gal, and your time is valuable. We don't take it for granted here on the program. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tess Howie, the producer of Feeks Vision, to be released this spring. And you heard about it here on Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
Welcome to the start of Main Street, the main medical building located at 315 Main, downtown Minot. The unique shops inside offer body and mind healing, a safe haven for mothers-to-be, mixed martial arts, hair salons, massages, counseling services, and much more. Also keep a special lookout for a brand new Jamaican-inspired restaurant opening this fall. Take a stroll inside the main medical building and uncover the unique shops and experiences that lay within. Discover the start of Main Street at the main medical building today.
Hi, Rich from Law Motors. 45 years ago, Dad started selling cars. 35 years ago, I started selling cars. And 15 years ago, Tyler started selling cars.
And I'm Mom, and I told all of them, just be nice.
Whether you have guns, ammo, vehicles, toys, or collectibles, consign with Last Chance Auction and we can help put money in your pocket. Give us a call at 334-SOLD or visit lastchancesd.com for upcoming auctions.
Man has worked in sync with Mother Nature since the beginning of time. Relying on her to provide sufficient moisture every growing season is a roll of the dice. You can now insure your pastures and rangelands with Rainfall Index policy available from Chamley Financial. This will give you the peace of mind by knowing you will be protected from the adverse effects of Mother Nature. Contact Chamley Financial today, 719-338-3428, or go to chamleyfinancial.com.
JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision has built a reputation as one of the most reputable and reliable body shops in this region. With nearly 30 years in business, customers count on JR's to get it done right the first time. They'll work with your insurance company to smoothen the process. From their 40-foot frame straightening machine, Sickens paint, and the latest technology in the repair industry, they're the only name you need to know. For auto, semi, RV, and trailer repair, it's JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision, North Dickinson. Call 701-483-6778. JR's Auto Body and Truck Collision. For more than 70 years, farmers and ranchers have relied on Dickinson Ready Mix for all their concrete needs. Whether it's a shop building for machinery storage or paved feedlots for your livestock, grain bins for on-site grain storage, or precast pads for automatic cattle waterers, Dickinson Ready Mix has been there to provide quality concrete for all your agricultural structures and infrastructure. For your next project, call Dickinson Ready Mix to discuss the benefits that concrete can add to your operation.
Okay, we're looking for ideas for our next commercial. Thoughts?
We have a fully stocked lot. Cars, trucks, SUVs.
Clearly.
We strive for honesty, transparency, and a better buying experience.
Of course we do. Guys, think, everybody's busy. Nobody has time to spend hours shopping for a car. Has to be simple, easy.
Sales, service, simplified.
Perfect. Torgerson Auto Center, East Bismarck Expressway. Sales, service, simplified.
And welcome back to Dakota Cowboy, presented to you by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. This segment of our program is the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honorees Inductee of the Week. This segment is brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center on East Bismarck Expressway in Bismarck. You'll be amazed at their fantastic inventory of cars, light and heavy-duty trucks, minivans, and so much more. Find them on the web at TorgersonAutoCenter.com. Find them on social media, Torgerson Auto Center on Facebook, but better yet, stop by on East Bismarck Expressway. Torgerson Auto Center brings you the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honorees Inductee of the Week. Our Inductee of the Week this week is Pearl Cullen, inducted in 2002 in the category of Leaders of Ranch and Rodeo. Dakota Cowboy now takes you back to the induction ceremony held August 3rd, 2002, as Miss Rodeo North Dakota Shannon Rustad Eck gives a respectful and honorable biography for Pearl Cullen, who is then 92 years old. She makes her way to the podium and shares some heartfelt thoughts and appreciation and accepts the honor of being inducted into the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame.
It is definitely my pleasure to introduce our final inductee for the 2002 year as the Leader of Ranching and Rodeo honoree. This young lady, as we all know as Pearl Cullen, is definitely well suited to receive this award as she still claims to have horse hair running through her veins. Pearl paved the way for all rodeo secretaries in the early years of the NDRA rodeo, and she left big shoes to fill in the NDRA when she passed the position on after 11 years being rodeo secretary and working as the NDRA editor of their newsletter. When I first met Pearl, which was a couple of years ago, I was introduced to this lady and then found out her real age, which completely shocked me, because if you all know her, she's very active, and I would guess her about 60. That maybe be the oldest, I would guess you, right, Pearl? And I immediately got sat down with her and got to look through her photo albums, which I'm sure many of you, if you know her, have seen, where I got to see pictures of her riding her last few times and the first times in her side saddles engagements of parades, and then got to see pictures of past rodeo events that she and her husband had partaken in over the past several years. And without further ado, I would like to introduce, as you could call the mother of rodeo, Pearl Cullen, as your North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame 2002 Leader of Ranching and Rodeo honoree.
Anything.
Oh, yes, you can.
Oh, bless all of you. At almost 92 and with an inner ear infection, I don't have any balance and I am dizzy. A dizzy blonde, so to speak. I have written out something that I wanted you to know because I thought I couldn't remember. Okay. Oh boy. At this moment, there is no place I'd rather be than in Cayden Terrace to express my utmost appreciation to the trustees of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in their part in my being inducted today. I also want to thank my other friends for all of their input too. And I have a gentleman here who sort of found roping at our house was fun when he was a kid. He's from Missoula, Montana.
Thanks, Pearl. I've known this lovely lady since I've been knee-high to a grasshopper. And I know today that Claire is sitting on old Goldie up there. Everybody here knows who I'm talking about. And is just as proud as a peacock. And I can't think of anyone that I enjoy more or who I've enjoyed more being with than Pearl and Claire Cullen. They are just kind of like bacon and eggs. They go well together, and you'd never think of one without the other. And Pearl, I love you very much, and it's made my day to see you inducted into the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. God bless you, Pearl.
One of my favorite pastimes is to search for the names of the rodeo results in the newspapers. And what a boost to my heart it is to see that some of you are still out there doing our thing. Bless you. Go for it. It helps to have horsehair in your blood.
Pearl Cullen, our North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Hall of Honorees Inductee of the Week this week, brought to you by Torgerson Auto Center on East Bismarck Expressway in Bismarck. We'll be back in just a moment with some final thoughts on today's Dakota Cowboy, presented to you by Dakota Community Bank and Trust, right here on Beck TV.
Hey, we're looking for ideas for our next commercial. Thoughts?
We have a fully stocked lot. Cars, trucks, SUVs.
Clearly.
We strive for honesty, transparency, and a better buying experience.
Of course we do. Guys, think, everybody's busy. Nobody has time to spend hours shopping for a car. Has to be simple, easy.
Sales, service, simplified.
Perfect. Torgerson Auto Center, East Bismarck Expressway. Sales, service, simplified.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and in light of the recent events, your continued support means everything to myself and my employees. To thank you, we're having the biggest sale ever on all MyPillow bedding. Get MyPillow bed sheets for as low as $29.98, a set of pillowcases for only $9.98. In this economy, instead of buying a new bed, rejuvenate your bed with a MyPillow mattress topper for as low as $99.99. We also have blankets in a variety of sizes, colors, and styles, like plush, waffle, or gossamer, for as low as $29.98. We even have pet blankets from small size to the ones for your car. Get huge discounts on duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code and you'll get huge discounts on all MyPillow bedding, including MyPillow bed sheets, for as low as $29.98. Get all your shopping in while quantities last. Please order now.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I'm a sixth generation farmer, husband, patriot, father. And as much as I'd love to just sit here under this shade tree and celebrate my own place on my front porch, truth of the matter is that people don't know who, where, and how is producing their food. So travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
The Wall of Honor pays tribute to local individuals from across the state of North Dakota. On digital indoor billboards, these heroes of the past and present are prominently featured with a photo, name, and their branch of service. Our funding is made possible by donations and advertisers like you.
As a veteran and as a board member, I couldn't think of a better way to help remember the service and sacrifice than celebrating and supporting the Wall of Honor.
Medora Boot and Western Wear open year-round in historic Medora. You'll find quality items for cowboys and cowgirls of all ages. Medora Boot and Western Wear has over 1,500 pair of boots on hand at all times. New this year, the R. Watson brand of boot, featuring an all-leather heel, riveted shank, and a 10-iron leather sole. Jeans, shirts, hats, caps, and more, and customer service is #1. Medora Boot and Western Wear in historic Medora.
Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Let the Little Missouri Saloon and Dining add to your historic Medora experience. Open 7 days a week. Enjoy family dining at its best on our main floor, as well as the upper dining room and outdoor patio with a fabulous view of Medora and the Badlands. Try the bison ribeye, delicious pizza, and an entire menu filled with fabulous food for all appetites. A full bar with an impressive list of tap beer and more adult beverage favorites. Visit us at littlemosaloon.com and look for live music events happening regularly. History lives at the Little Missouri Saloon and Dining in historic Medora. Y'all come see us now, you hear?
Dakota Cowboy, here on Beck TV, presented to you each and every week by our friends at Dakota Community Bank and Trust. I sure hope we did a little justice to and brought some attention to International Women's History Month. Again, it runs through the month of March, and there's a lot of great websites out there that talk about International Women's History Month. Go to your favorite search engine, type it in, and learn more about how to honor the great women of the world. And I so appreciate being associated with the women who are on today's program, my friends, my neighbors, my colleagues. I am a better person for knowing these people. Thank you all for being a part of today's Dakota Cowboy. And we look forward to Tisa Peek making her debut next week here on Dakota Cowboy. And we began the show by letting you know that Tisa is now the co-host of Dakota Cowboy, and I am so genuinely very, very excited about that. She'll bring a lot to the show. It's a better show with Tisa's input here on Dakota Cowboy. Find us online, becknews.com/Dakota Cowboy. You can watch all past episodes in their entirety, and we'll see you next week. Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. I'm Wild Bill, the media director at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. See you in the future. If not in the pasture, adios.
Whether you have guns, ammo, vehicles, toys, or collectibles, consign with Last Chance Auction and we can help put money in your pocket. Give us a call at 334-SOLD or visit lastchancesd.com for upcoming auctions.
Welcome to Ladies of Another View,
where we talk about issues that matter
and cover stories no one else will.
Catch us at 4:30 Central at Beck News and online at beck.news.
We are rewriting Hollywood's script for our kids. I'm pop culture expert Tina Griffin, and as a former Hollywood actress, I'm giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how today's entertainment is eroding the foundational development of America's youth and how to safely navigate this pop culture chaos. Knowledge is power. Parents want solutions. It's time to get the power back in your hands and reclaim the right to decide who and what should influence your kids.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Central Time on Beck TV.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I'm a 6th generation farmer, husband, patriot, father. And as much as I'd love to just sit here under this shade tree and celebrate my own place on my front porch, truth of the matter is that people don't know who, where, and how is producing their food. So travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.